The reveal trailer for the new Battlefield just dropped, and while everyone is losing their minds over the epic scale and explosions, there's a massive contradiction hiding in plain sight. Cockle, the developers have slipped something into this reveal, a fundamental inconsistency that almost nobody is talking about. And no, it's not a visual glitch or some minor detail. It's a potential misdirection about what this game actually is. Thoughtful. In this video, we're going to break down that trailer, expose the one detail that just doesn't add up, and talk about what it could mean for the future of the franchise. Because what they're showing you and what leaks suggest they're building seem to be two very different things. Section 1, setting the stage for war. Before we get into the conspiracy, let's set the scene. The trailer opens with pure chaos. We see a shaken president of the United States addressing the nation after what he calls a monstrous, unprovoked attack. This isn't some faraway conflict. The fight is on American soil, with brutal scenes of war erupting in cities like New York. The group responsible is a shadowy private military company, Pax Armada. According to the lore, this PMC has one goal: to completely upend the global order. Then, the trailer dives into a montage of pure, unfiltered battlefield spectacle. We see tanks tearing through deserts, jets screaming over mountains, and soldiers battling through war-torn cities. The scale is absolutely massive, and it's clearly designed to get your adrenaline pumping. It's a return to modern warfare, the very setting fans have been begging for since the days of Battlefield 3 and 4. On the surface, it's everything we wanted: huge maps, incredible destruction, and all-out vehicle combat. It looks, sounds, and feels like Battlefield. But that's the problem. It looks like Battlefield, but clues scattered throughout suggest a different identity under the hood. And it all starts with the one thing they're most proud of: the destruction. Section 2, the elephant in the room, destruction overload. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. The trailer's obsession with destruction, specifically helicopters and jets falling out of the sky. In just a few minutes, we see at least 3 or 4 separate instances of helicopters being blown up or crashing into buildings. Jets smash into skyscrapers, bridges explode, and entire city blocks are leveled. Now I know what you're thinking. Dude, this is Battlefield. Destruction is the whole point, and you're right. But there's a huge difference between meaningful, tactical destruction and just cinematic noise. Think back to the best moments in the series. In Bad Company 2, collapsing a house on an MCOM station was a strategic move. In Battlefield 4, taking down the skyscraper on Siege of Shanghai was a levolution event that permanently changed the map. These moments mattered because they were significant, tactical, and most importantly, they didn't happen every 5 seconds. They were player-driven events that had real weight. What this new trailer shows feels different. The sheer number of vehicle crashes turns what should be a shocking, awesome moment into background clutter. A helicopter getting shot down should be a major event in a match, a victory for the infantry, a huge threat removed from the sky. When it happens constantly, it loses all meaning. It just becomes part of the chaotic wallpaper. So you have to ask, is this what the game is actually like, or is it just cinematic flair for a trailer? If the gameplay really involves this much constant, explosive spam, it risks devaluing the very moments that make Battlefield special. And this focus on spectacle over substance is the first piece of evidence in a much bigger case. Section 3, the contradiction in the code. This is where things really start to feel off. While the trailer is selling us this grand vision of large-scale strategic warfare, leaked information from playtests paints a picture of moment-to-moment gameplay that feels borrowed. It feels like another franchise entirely. I'm talking about the rumored new movement mechanics. Leaks and whispers from insiders describe what many are calling omni-movement, a system that seems heavily inspired by recent Call of Duty games. The rumor is that players can slide cancel, dive, and even aim down sights with near-perfect accuracy while doing it. This would be a massive change for Battlefield. For years, the series was defined by a more deliberate, weighty sense of movement. You were a soldier, not a superhero. Your movement had inertia. Sprinting and going prone were tactical choices. This rumored new system seems to toss that philosophy out the window for hypermobility. Gunfights risk becoming frantic scrambles, where victory goes to whoever can abuse the movement mechanics the hardest, not the player who has better positioning and cover. But the leaks don't stop there. Another huge rumor suggests that gadgets and grenades might automatically replenish over time, without you needing a resupply from a support player. If that's true, it might be the single most damaging change to the core Battlefield formula. Team play is the absolute bedrock of this franchise. The class system exists to make players rely on each other. Medics heal, supports give ammo, engineers handle vehicles, and recon provides intel. That interdependence is what creates the strategic depth we love. Automatically replenishing gadgets just rips the heart out of that system. Why stick with your squad if you don't need them for ammo? It encourages lone wolf gameplay, turning a team-based objective game into a bunch of individual skirmishes. Section 4. The lie comes into focus. So now let's connect the dots. On one hand, the trailer is selling a cinematic vision of strategic, all-out war, the classic Battlefield promise. On the other hand, you have leaked gameplay mechanics that point toward a fast-paced, individualistic, arcade-style shooter. The non-stop destruction feels like a cinematic distraction. The rumored movement and auto-replenishing gadgets seem like direct attacks on the core pillars of grounded movement and team dependency. These don't feel like a series of unrelated design choices. They feel like symptoms of one core contradiction. It's like the marketing team and the design team are building two different games. One is for the trailer, made to trigger our nostalgia for classics like Battlefield 3 and 4. The other is the actual product, which, based on these leaks, seems designed to chase trends set by faster, more casual shooters to appeal to a broader audience. This is the big disconnect. The suggestion that you can have both. The idea that you can just staple Call of Duty-style movement and self-sufficient mechanics onto a game that is, by its very nature, supposed to be the opposite of that. You can't. The soul of Battlefield is its scale, but that scale only works because of the grounded, team-based rules that hold it all together. Take those away, and the scale just becomes meaningless chaos. A spectacle without a soul. Section 5. The reveal. They are selling a brand, not a game. So what's the biggest lie in the new Battlefield reveal? It might just be the title itself. They're calling this game Battlefield, but the evidence suggests they could be building something else entirely. They're using the brand name, the iconic images of jets and tanks, and the promise of destruction to sell a product that seems to be betraying the core principles that made that brand so powerful in the first place. The misdirection is the pretense that this is a true evolution of the Battlefield you know. Instead, it's looking like a potential hybrid monster, a game with a Battlefield skin stretched thinly over a Call of Duty skeleton. The trailer promises the strategic depth of a chess match, while the leaked mechanics point to the frantic, solo-oriented chaos of checkers. They're banking on the spectacle being enough to distract us from the fact that the franchise's identity is being chipped away, one quality of life change at a time. All the crashing helicopters in the world won't save the game if it loses the very thing that makes it unique. But hey, that's just my take. Looking at all the pieces, I see a huge disconnect between the marketing and the rumored mechanics. Do you agree? Or did you spot an even bigger red flag? What do you think of the potential changes to movement and gadgets? Let me know your theories down in the comments. And if you enjoy this kind of deep dive analysis, make sure to like and subscribe, because I will be back with a full breakdown of the multiplayer reveal on July 31st. The new Battlefield trailer was a masterclass in generating hype. It was loud, explosive, and gorgeous. But under that shiny surface, there are signs of a potential identity crisis. A battle between the classic, strategic formula the community loves and a new, faster, more individualized approach that seems to be chasing trends. We can only hope the developers find the right balance to innovate without sacrificing the soul of the franchise. For now, this reveal has given us as much cause for concern as it has for excitement. We just have to wait and see.